Hi, welcome to this very quick tutorial on how to set up your Whitebox models so they can easily be replaced with high-res models. So the way how we go about doing, so the reason why I wanted to make this little video is that I just wanted to demonstrate how we can quickly create a setup or models that we're using for our Whitebox levels so that they can be replaced with more detailed models once we actually get to a point that where we are a little bit further down the project, right? So for this project, for this test, what I did is that I have a low-res model here, okay, which is basically my Whitebox model for a model, more detailed model, which I'm gonna have later, okay? And I brought it into Unreal, and I'm going to go ahead and instantiate it in a few locations, okay? So here is our model here, okay? I'm gonna go like this and actually put it like this, all right? And we're going to hold Alt. Let's go to the move tool, hold Alt, and I'm going to repeat it a few times here. Okay. Very cool. And I'm going to move them a little bit more forward so we can see the ears a little bit better. There we go. Cool. Now, this obviously will be what you will probably have for a Whitebox. It will be something where you will have like very nice low-res models, which will kind of like give you an idea of what your environment will look like. But say as you get on the project, you want to actually replace these models with a more detailed model that you actually did. Well, there is a few ways that we can go about doing so. Okay. One way to do it is to simply come over to, once you actually come to your application, and we have our more detailed model, you can simply go and to save your model and simply replace the same file that you actually had before. Okay, so if we hit accept and we replace this file that we referenced before, when we come to Unreal, we can right click on your actual model, your static mesh, and actually hit reimport, and lo and behold, all of your models were replaced with your more detailed model. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to show you a different way for doing that. Say you, for example, you wanted to create your model using just some simple shapes. Okay, so let's try actually building this with some simple shapes. So let's go ahead and actually bring a sphere, which is going to be my pig head. Okay, then we'll bring in a cylinder. Okay, we'll put it like roughly like where the nose is. Okay, and for the ears, we'll do a cone. We'll flatten it. There we go. Let me press. And then I'm just going to hold Alt to duplicate it over on this side, and then rotate it again. Okay, so here is our pretty amazing pig head placeholder. Once you create your 3 pieces, you can select all pieces and then go to blueprints and say convert selected components to blueprint class. And what this should do is to actually create a blueprint out of all of these components. Okay, so the advantage here is that a blueprint is almost like a little container which can be made out of like multiple static meshes. In addition to that, it could be done also made out of multiple behaviors. It can be built out of lights. It could be built out of a combination of things. Okay. But in this particular here, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing all the pieces that I used to make my pig head and I'm saving them as a blueprint. So this is going to be my pig head actor. Okay. I'm going to create my blueprint. I'm going to just put it under content. Okay. And it's actually going to open it in this little editor where you can actually look at it isolated from everything else. Okay, so this is actually my object that I just created, which is made out of multiple primitives in this case. Okay, cool. But let's go ahead and actually close this one now. What I want to show you here is that, okay, so now that I have this guy, I can go ahead and actually scale it here. We can now start instantiating multiple versions of this guy, which is very cool. Right, just like we did before. Just and then we'll press Alt to actually make our new one. There we go. Now, what we can do now is, since we already have the detailed model of the pig that we created, we can go ahead and import it in. Okay. And this is going to be right here. Okay. So here is our pig model that we created. It's actually rotated because I was working in the Y up in Houdini. But after we import our model, we can use this model to replace our placeholder meshes that were inside of a blueprint. All that we have to do is to double click on our pig head actor, which opens the blueprint view. And from there, simply switch your view to viewport to actually just be looking at the components. Okay, so here we are. This is all the meshes that make our pig head actor. So what we're going to do is that we're going to bring in our pig head model into this scene. Okay, we're going to roughly align it with the actual head that we have here. Okay, make it here about the same size, just enough to actually kind of like cover the area that this actually covered. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and, since we don't need these guys anymore, select them and delete them. Okay, so the moment that now we save this blueprint, watch what happens on the viewport. Then all of a sudden, our blueprint object, which was made out of primitives, is now replaced with the actual pig object. Okay. Likewise, we could even undo just to bring these meshes back and hit save. And now watch, now we have both of them at the same time. The beautiful thing about blueprints is that the moment that you actually create a class blueprint, it becomes almost like a little asset that is made of multiple assets, and you can modify this asset in the blueprint editor here. And every time that you do, it will update on every single copy of the assets that you have in your level. Alright, and that's it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.